Everybody, and welcome back to the World Sim Racing Competition, or WSRC, where we have our first official teams race. Today we have Nazari Vision versus Nazari Pulse versus Speed Camp Racing. Everybody is extremely close, as we saw in quali, with the top 5 people all being within 1/10 of each other. Extremely close positioning. So if we have a quick look at the grid formation so far, we have Finn in first place, iRacer in second place, Paulo in third, Gavin in fourth, all 4 of them within 0.05 seconds of each other. Then 5th, Ali, 6th, Danny Da Silva, and then Riley in 7th and Gavin in 8th, both from Speed Camp Racing. This should be a fun race to watch. It's a 30-minute race that we have for you today. There's questions of whether there'll be enough fuel in the fixed setup, so we may even see some pit stops and some fuel saving tactics being implemented, so there is a bit more strategy in this longer race today. We're currently on the formation lap now, and is up to Finn to decide when to put the foot down as the green flag gets checkered, and the race is underway. We have Finn, our leader, and there was a big crash further back into the race. Let's see if we can try and hopefully catch that, but for now, it seems to be alright. The races are all in formation. We have Pulse in first place, Vision in second, and then Pulse back into third. So Finn, iRacer, and Paulo, all from Nazari, looking to push and make a good first impression. These races are showing us that it looks like it is dominated by Porsche 911 GT3s. The top 5 races of this grid are all in the Porsches. And then in 5th place, Riley with the AMG. 0.6 second difference to our leader. Currently on board with iRacer, zooming in and watching him. The rest of the grid is still close together, all looking to strategically make moves and move up when they can without putting jeopardy for their other races. It's all about having the right strategy with these team races. The way it works is everybody gets allocated a certain amount of points based on where you finish on the grid. If your team all up has the most points, that team will be taking home the $30 prize pool. And Nazari, don't be confused, they're split into 2 separate teams, Nazari Vision and Nazari Pulse. So Vision and Pulse are fighting each other just in the same way the Speed Camp Racing is fighting the other 2 teams. It looks like there's 3 people from Vision, 3 people from Pulse, and 2 people from Speed Camp Racing. So we'll have to see what everybody is able to do. I believe Gavin ended up crashing at the start of the race, sending him off for an early pit and an early finish. You hate to see it. And now, Finn and iRacer only 0.4 seconds away from each other. iRacer is going to look to try and get something done to make sure that Vision, the Nazari Vision team, can claim P1 in this race up against the Pulse team. It is a field of 911s on the field today. GT3 cars all just absolutely demolishing Okayama today. 27 minutes left into this race, so this order is not representative of anything close to what the final people will be as the checkered flag is run. 27 minutes is a long time to be racing, so the smallest lapse in judgment will lead to very large mistakes that we saw just then from Gavin. He's currently pitting now, a 47-second pit, so that's going to be a big hit for Speed Camp Racing. Down 1 minute and 24 seconds, but there is enough time in this race to make something happen and crawl back some positions. And if we go in with Ali now, in Nazari, Pulse has moved down to 7th place. Danny Da Silva with Speed Camp Racing is up into 6th place. Danny Da Silva in the Ferrari. Ali with the AMG with Nazari Pulse looking to the inside. Danny and Ali fighting, and Nazari is able to get the move on Danny and move up back into 6th place. Brilliant racing there. And ahead of Ali is Riley. Apologies, that's Gavin, the back marker in the 911 from Speed Camp Racing. Ali has made sure to get past him and make sure there's no blue flag action. The rest of the grid is rather split up, around 1 second from everybody, but iRacer is rapidly closing in on our leader. Pulse Vision, Nazari Vision versus Nazari Pulse. These liveries are a bit too similar for my liking, but they do look splendid nonetheless. You can see that iRacer is playing the long game. He doesn't want to prematurely make a dive on Finn and then end up getting sent out of the race with a big crash. And that's just a lovely sight, seeing that many Porsches in a row. Personally, one of my favorite cars there are in the GT3 series. An absolute pleasure to drive. And it looks like Finn has set a new fastest lap time of a 1:28.15. Let's see if we can catch that replay of Gavin crashing. And there it is. Gavin just lost the rear end. And that's what happens in racing. It's so easy to do. And that will send you to the pits for a good 1:30. You hate to see it. Also, further back in the race, this was the initial incident with Ali and Gavin. Ali having a little bit of a spin, which sent Nazari to the back of the pit, same as Gavin. And that's where we saw those overtakes from before. Now if we go back with iRacer, still 0.5 second gap between our leader and second place. These two races are showing us what needs to be done. Pulse and Vision, both fighting each other. Vision, the way to tell from these liveries is Vision has more yellow on the car, whereas Pulse is more of a blacked out design for anybody watching right now. Just makes it a little bit easier to differentiate as I commentate this race. Paulo, not far behind though, just moved up into P3. And it looks like Morgan also made a lovely move. These races are showing why the Pulse and Vision teams are so strong in WSRC so far. It looks like there may have been a bit of an incident as Paulo has moved up into second place. Let's try and get a replay of that. And here we have Paulo flashing the lights in third place, looking to get something done. Moves to the inside on the hairpin, and Paulo is able to move past iRacer and move up into second place. What a lovely move by Paulo. You love to see it. And that was team member versus team member. So there is no forgiveness in this race. It doesn't matter whether you're in Pulse, whether you're in Vision, or if you're in Speed Camp Racing. These races are putting it on the line to win for glory. But these battles that were happening between P2 and P3, they just let Finn get that extra lead. iRacer, now our only contender from Vision in P3. P1 and P2 are both Nazari Pulse. And Nazari Vision is representing in P3 and a bit further down the grid in P5, I believe. P4 Morgan is also from Pulse, and Riley is from Vision. It looks like there's a tight battle though between Morgan and iRacer. These races only 0.6 second difference between the car ahead. iRacer is looking to reclaim that position from Paulo. He has to make something happen. Our leader is now 2 second gap from second place, so he has a comfortable lead. Let's have a look at who's put in the fastest times of this race so far. It looks like Finn has the fastest time with a 1:28.157. Paulo with the next, iRacer with the next best time of a 1:28.263. Then Paulo with a 1:28.5 and Morgan with the 1:28.6. Gavin is now down 1 lap, but I wouldn't count him out just yet. Danny De Silva looking to make something happen. 3 seconds away now from moving into P6. E-Ray is right on Paulo's tail, and Morgan is not far behind either. Let's get on board with Morgan now. We'll go into the gyro, get a feel of what it's like from a passenger's perspective. This is on Morgan's cam now, and we are looking right behind E-Ray. Only 0.8 seconds between these two drivers. 0.5 seconds now. He's looking to try and get something done and move up once more. If cheer to race it, let's go and watch Ali in the AMG. Let's get a nice little chase view as we have a beautiful car, the Mercedes AMG, zooming around. Currently in 6th place, 8 seconds behind P5, looking to get something done. As much as I would love to keep watching, it looks like Gavin has crashed once more, so we'll have to see what happened there. Well, I guess it looks like he may have left the race entirely. That's tough to see. Or there was a bit of a internet disconnection action, which is probably more believable. And we are back with Ali, looking to try and do something. Just putting in fast lap times, 'cause that's the best you can do when you're down this much time. You just have to lock in and really focus on what you're doing. Put in the laps, forget about the rest of the grid, and then just get in the zone. That's all you can really hope for. We tune back in with Morgan. Only 0.6 second difference now between the racer ahead. Once more, a little bit of internet connectivity issues from Morgan, but it's alright. We are back and looking beautiful as ever. These three races have all been so close to each other. Morgan, E-Ray, and Paulo. All P2, P3, and P4. All looking to try and perhaps work together to try and move up into P1. We might have to move off Morgan's cam just because his internet isn't the best from what we've seen. This is the race we've all been waiting to watch, and it will be interesting to see how the fuel scenario plays out and when everybody will choose to end up going in for a pit stop, because that's a lot of strategy there which could determine who will take what. Currently we have Pulse, Vision, Pulse for P2, P3, and P4. Aitan, thank you for the follow. And currently, they're going around Vision with the yellow car. We're currently watching E-Ray. Right ahead is Pulse, Paulo, and Pulse behind Morgan. So he is sandwiched between two rival teams right now. Morgan is flashing. That's got to be off-putting. And if he has too much ping, then he might end up getting kicked off the race. Because that's one of the new updates to iRacer. If you have too much ping, then you end up being sent out of the race for the safety of the other drivers, which is fair enough. E-Ray right now on Paulo. The fastest lap so far. Let's have a quick check-in of that. It looks like the fastest time is from Finn with the 128.157, and the next best time from E-Ray with a 128.26. Extremely close times. Alright, let's get back to the interval. I'll tune in with Ali just in a second. It looks like a move might happen here between E-Ray and Paulo. Only 0.4 seconds between these two races, between Pulse and Vision. E-Ray is looking to make something happen. He could be playing the long game. 17 minutes still left in this race, so it is up to anybody to try and make something happen. Morgan, E-Ray, and Paulo all within only milliseconds of each other. It's just a matter of somebody making a mistake, somebody having a lapse in judgment. Alright, we'll have a quick look at Ali zooming around in the AMG Nazari Pulse, currently in 6th position. And Gavin has moved up one spot as Danny De Silva has pitted, potentially due to a crash or something similar. Danny has been in the pits now for 90 seconds and counting, as you can see on the leaderboard. Gavin is still down 1 minute and 10 seconds though. And Danny De Silva has just been black flagged. I wonder what that was for. That's rough to see for Speed Camp Racing. And we are back with iRacer, Morgan, and Paulo. Pulse, Vision, Pulse. And Finn has just been able to maintain that lead. Not extended by much though, still 2.7 second difference. So the fighting between P2, P3 and P4 hasn't allowed Finn to extend the gap that much. But all four races now are really showing us what they're made of. A little bit going into the gravel there. It looks like iRacer is looking to dive to the inside of Paulo, and Paulo gets sent out. And this is a replay that has happened beforehand. Love to see it. But that was a beautiful move nonetheless from iRacer. iRacer and Paulo now still fighting ahead. Morgan only 0.6 seconds away from iRacer. It looks like the Porsche GT3s might be the dominant car on this track due to them all showing us how they're at the top of the field despite everything that's been happening. Danny and Gavin are both down one lap, and Danny De Silva has been black flagged, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out for the rest of the race. Perhaps it just won't count at all. So the two Speed Camp racers are at the bottom, potentially able to make a comeback. We will just have to see. Down one lap with 15 minutes remaining in this race. Tuning back in with our leader to get a nice onboard gyro cam. As you can see, Finn is just racing with absolute precision, making sure to not make any mistakes and still set fast lap times, which is what we love to see. His last lap was a 1:28.645, so you know he's still consistently putting in great times. And just now, he's been able to extend the gap to Paulo that little bit more, now 3.3 seconds. Currently, Pulse is in first, second, fourth, and sixth place, with Vision being in third and fifth, and Speed Camp Racing in seventh and eighth. This is the current standings for our team race, and it looks like Pulse might be able to take the victory this round if they're all able to remain consistent so far and claim the $30 prize pool. Tune back in with Paulo. Last lap a 1:29.033, so a full second slower than our current leader, which explains why Finn was able to extend that gap now to 3.5 second difference. iRacer looking to try and make something happen with Paulo, but the gap has just extended that little bit more. 1.3 second gap now between iRacer and Paulo. Aitan loves watching Ali, so we're gonna have to go back to it. There we are, we'd love to see it. Ali in the AMG. I'm gonna have to move back into the chase cam just because I love seeing this car. Ali #1 fan, 100%. Ali 12 seconds away from the next driver, Riley Thomas. Let's get this into the TV view so we can see the front of that beautiful AMG and watch Ali hitting apex after apex. A little bit of a spin though. I spoke too soon about his precision as he lost the rear just momentarily, but he was able to save it there and give us a nice little drift to watch. Maybe he was just putting on a show for us to see. The rest of the grid is still in the same order, with Finn in first place, Paulo in second place 3 seconds away, and iRacer just behind Paulo in 1.7 second difference. Ali with the last lap of 1:30.287. Which races are on the same team? Ali is part of the Pulse team, correct? The races are showing us what they're made of. We're tuning back in with Riley now, who had a 1:29.663 as his last lap. I've got to say, I love seeing the pedal work of these racers. You see them trail braking, accelerating, smooth inputs, smooth steering, and making sure to maintain in that optimal rev range. Vision now, we're watching Riley Thomas, Nazari Vision, looking to try and move up one more position and potentially reclaim the victory for Nazari Vision. We tune in with E-Ray, also from Vision, in P3 and P5. He's looking to try and make something happen, to try and pass Paulo to move up into P2, but it looks like it may be too much of a challenge. We'll just have to see if E-Ray will able to pull it off in the last 10 minutes. Morgan has just moved up though and passed Riley Thomas up into P4 for Vision. So Vision are now in P3 and P4. And also P further down as well. I can't remember specifically. Just P4 and P3. Apologies, because there's only 2 races from Vision thus far. Pulse do have the advantage as they have 4 racers currently racing, and that was the limit for the team races. It was up to 4 people. So it looks like we currently have P1 and P2 being Pulse, Nazari Pulse, Vision in P3, and now P5 with Morgan in P4, who is also part of Pulse. The grid has split up that little bit more now. 3.8 seconds different between P1 and P2. 1 second difference between 3 to around 5 between each racer, and then Ali 14 seconds back, Danny De Silva 2 seconds back, and Gavin as well 5 seconds back from the 2 laps that Danny was. So 2 laps and 5 seconds back. The Nazari livery is quite beautiful, I must say, but I would love to recommend them to have a different color or something more distinguished between Vision and Pulse, just to make the commentary that little bit easier. As we see now, tuning in with E-Ray, with Nazari Vision, looking to go around the hairpin. Lovely moves, hitting apex after apex, just getting that consistent time on board. Last lap of a 129.042. If we look at everybody's last lap, we'll see that the fastest time came from E-Ray, once more with a 129.042. Brilliant stuff, with Finn not far behind with a 129.084. And a fastest lap still remains with Finn with a 128.1, and not far behind it was E-Ray once more with a 128.263. So it looks like our fastest racers on the grid today are Finn and E-Ray, but it's just a matter of whether E-Ray will be able to pass Paulo and claim his second place spot based on his hot lapping skills that we've seen so far throughout this race. 7 minutes left, so it's a matter of which team will be able to take home the victory of saying that they won the first ever official WSRC teams race. Will it be Nazari Vision? Will it be Nazari Pulse? Or will it be Speed Camp Racing? The team names are meant to be after the names on the leaderboard, but unfortunately it looks like there was a bit of an iRacing glitch, so it didn't show up on the board. Just one of those things. Paulo now. 3-second difference to P1. Tuning in with Gavin after multiple crashes. Going around, Speed Camp Racing, represent. I'm sure next race they'll be able to lock in and get a higher position on the grid. Danny De Silva as well seems to have fixed his black flag, which we love to see, so no DQs just yet. In that Ferrari 356, I believe that's the name of it, I could be wrong with the numbers, or 296, so beautiful to see. I love the design of this livery as well. I've got to say both teams have outdone themselves with the livery design. Checking in with Ali once more. Last lap of a 1:30.7, so around 1.7 seconds off the current pace of our top contenders. With Riley with a 1:29.69, only 0.6 seconds off the leader. Now back in our leader, 3.6 seconds. Finn has been able to extend that gap for Nazari Pulse. Now that little bit more. Paulo is struggling to move up into first place, but he doesn't care too much because they are both from the same team. Nazari Pulse P1, P2. So they're not going to try anything risky to get the moves done. And E-Ray, our highest contender from Nazari Vision, in P3. Morgan from Nazari Pulse as well in P4. Riley from Nazari Vision in P5. 6th, Ali, part of Pulse. 7th, Speed Camp Racing. And 8th, Speed Camp Racing as well. That is the current order of the grid for our team race today. Everybody is quite close. The closest battle right now is between Riley and Morgan, which is a 2-second gap, so the grid has really split up over the course of this 30-minute race. I do wonder how everybody's fuel is going. We'll just have to see whether anybody ends up pitting, if cars randomly stop racing, or if they've just been using some lifting and coasting methods to try and extend how much fuel will take them throughout this race. I believe it was calculated earlier that the fuel will get you just short of 1 lap of completion for this race. So we'll have to see if people will just be thugging it out and try and making it work, or if they're going to risk going into a pit stop and potentially losing lots of time if the others don't pit. 4 minutes left of this race, so we are in the final moments of this 30-minute race. $30 prize pool going to the winning team. This is the World Sim Racing Competition, or WSRC, where anybody can compete for cold, hard cash. I hope Nazari Pulse has a fuel plan as well, same as Vision and Speed Camp, because if they didn't come prepared, then it could be a very rough ending for a lot of these races. It could potentially even give 7th and 8th place a chance of coming back if they notice that everyone else has just stalled in the middle of the track. We'll just have to see what the move is between these races in the last 3 minutes of this race. I got a feeling that they'll know what to do, because they did speak about it briefly, so they must have come up with a game plan prior to entering this race. Back on board with Riley. Let's go into the gyro cam, because we love to see the hand movements and the pedal inputs of the racers as they go around. A little bit of dust is blown up as Morgan goes a little wide onto the gravel, but it doesn't stop Riley. Now a 0.8 second gap between Morgan and E-Ray. Now 0.6 second. Morgan is looking to try and get something done. He was able to decrease the difference between Morgan and E-Ray so much in that past time. We can see we're watching E-Ray, and he has Morgan hunting him down behind him. So close, looking to try and get something done and move up that one more position. I would go in with Morgan, but it looks like his internet is a bit unstable, and I wouldn't want to risk ruining the stream with another black screen. So we're just going to have to make do with the rear cam. As you can see, during every braking zone, Morgan is able to just close that gap, but then on the exits, E-Ray is able to extend it once more. This is the difference between fast in and slow out. E-Ray is optimizing for the exits, and that is what's given him the ability to get the fastest lap times of the race, or very close to it, while Morgan has been looking for a fast entry, but then losing time on the exits. It's all about choosing what to optimize when racing. And it looks like E-Ray has gone in for our first pit of the race. He may be commencing the pit stop strategy for the fuel. We will just have to see what is happening. Paulo and Finn still staying out. 1 minute 30 left in the race. Are they just going to have to try and do the race without a pit stop, without fueling up? E-Ray still in the pit. Moved down to 5th place now. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with the rest of these drivers. If they're going to leave it one more lap to get their pit stop in, or if they're going to lift and coast throughout the rest of the race to try and save their fuel. iRacer currently pitting 7, 8, 9 seconds, and it's still counting. You can see on the leaderboard currently. We've got Paulo as well. Now a 5.5 second gap to our leader. Morgan, 3.8 seconds now behind Paulo as well. And that was a 23 second pit stop for iRacer to get some fuel in. That's a big hit to his time, now down into 6th position. If he didn't need that fuel, then that's going to be a big, big hit for Nazari Vision, I believe. Or maybe Pulse. For Nazari Pulse. For Nazari Vision, apologies. iRacer in 6th place, hoping that everybody else is able to do something with their lap times. 19 seconds left in this race. The final lap has commenced. Will these racers be able to extend their fuel that little bit? Finn flashing his lights, thinking he has victory in the bag. Paulo in 2nd place. Morgan in 3rd place. One more lap to go of racing after this 30-minute race has gone underway for our first ever official teams race. Currently, we have Nazari Pulse in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th place. Finn, Paulo, Morgan, and Ali for Nazari Pulse, and Nazari Vision in 4th place and 6th place, with Riley Thomas and iRacer Erdogan. And then for Speed Camp Racing, we have Danny De Silva in 7th and Gavin Scalise in 8th. This is the final lap, and we're tuning in with our leader so we can see this joy as he crosses the final line. These races have really shown us what they've got today. And it's been a wonderful race to watch. It looks like fuel wasn't an issue for these races at the top as they didn't need to pit. iRacer unfortunately pitted, perhaps thinking he needed fuel, or maybe it was for another reason, but he had dropped down from 3rd place or 4th, now down into 6th, and Finn crosses the line for Nazari Pulse, claiming 1st place. We love to see it. Paulo now 2nd place, claiming another Nazari Pulse finish on the podium. And Morgan C. Allen from Pulse as well. P1, P2, P3. That is a podium lock for Nazari Pulse, with 4th place being Nazari Vision, Riley Thomas. So it looks like our first ever WSRC race, the victor of the team race, is Nazari Pulse. What a lovely race to watch. 30 minutes of action-packed racing, very tight between everyone, lots of incidents. Thank you everybody for tuning in to this race. If you want to race next time, you can head over to WSRC.live. If you want to get involved in team racing in the Discord, you can move up into the positions. Perhaps bonus points could change some of the standings. We'll have to make some calculations later in the day to then determine which team actually gets the win. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you next time tomorrow for our next race.